revelation. I saw that miracle of revelation in the aftermath of the breaking of the Teton Dam in Idaho in 1976. Many of you know the story of what happened. But the example of continuing revelation that was passed through a stake president could bless all of us in the days ahead. Thousands of people were evacuated as their homes were destroyed. Directing the relief efforts fell to a local stake president, a farmer. I was in a classroom at Ricks College just a few days after the disaster. A leader from the Federal Disaster Agency had arrived. He and his chief assistants came to the large room where the stake president had assembled bishops and even some ministers of other local religions. I was there because many of the survivors were being cared for and housed in the campus of the college where I was the president. As the meeting began, the representative from the Federal Disaster Agency stood in a very powerful way and began to say with a voice of authority what needed to be done. After listing each of the 5 or 6 tasks he said were essential, the stake president responded quietly after each one, "We've already done that." After a few minutes, the man from the Federal Disaster Agency said, "I think that I would just sit down and watch for a while." He and his deputies then listened as bishops and elders quorum presidents reported what they had done. They described what direction they had received and followed from their leaders. They talked as well about the way they had been inspired to do, not only to carry out the instructions, but to find families and to help them. It was late that day. They were all too tired to show much emotion except their love of the people. The stake president ended the meeting, gave a few final directions to the bishops, and then announced a time for the next report meeting early the following morning. The next morning, the leader of the federal team arrived 20 minutes before the report and assignment meeting was scheduled to begin. I stood nearby. I heard him say quietly to the stake president, "What would you like me and the members of my team to do?" What that man saw, I have seen in times of distress and testing all over the world.